Hello everybody and welcome to the Wine with Jim channel. Delighted to have you on board and welcome to a series here which is called Central Italy. Now this is a wine educational channel which is designed to help anybody really understand more about the world of wine, but it's specifically designed to help those of you that are really getting knee deep into the studies of wine. This one is designed for those of you taking the WSET Level 4, that's the diploma. And we're looking here, of course, as I mentioned, at Central Italy. So this Central Italy series is split into 6 series. This is series 1 on Toscana or Tuscany, and we are here split into 6 parts of this series. So we've done the introduction and history. We went through lots of wonderful history, which really sets the scene for this very important and gorgeous wine region. And now we're looking at the more modern side of it, the current state of affairs, the wine business that we find in this area. Parts 3 through to 6 will only be available on my e-learning portal. That's an exclusive portal over at www.winewithjimmy.com with lots of exclusive content and additional tools and resources to help you with your studies. If you have any questions that you just have to ask, if you have any comments that you just have to share, please put them in the comments section below this video. Click like and click subscribe because they help you and me respectively. Or maybe the other way around, potentially. Please use the social media that you'll find at the bottom of every slide as well. Let's have a look at Tuscany's wine business. So, in terms of price, most of the Tuscan DOs, DOCGs, IGTs, the Tuscan regions sell both an inexpensive style and also the premium and super premium. So they have a mighty big range of styles within each areas. Some of those premium and super premium examples have to be aged for exceptionally long times. For example, the requirement for a Brunello to age is a minimum of, I think, 4 years for the standard and 5 years for a reserva. And this adds additional cost to production. So here you've got examples of having, in this one region, we have Brunello, which makes always pretty much premium wines, whereas just generic Chianti here, which can be quite affordable. But remember, within Chianti, there can be a range as well. Now, this is the wine business here. It's quite multifaceted in this area. Okay, what's next? Well, let's talk about cooperatives here. The structure of the industry is very different across the denominations. 14% of Chianti is made by cooperatives. So you will see that number here. It's not actually a huge number, but it is the strongest number in this region. Then Chianti Classico is at 6%, so even lower still. Brunello di Montalcino, only 1%, and Bulgari has none. So it's an interesting thing to look at. It's only notable really in Chianti, but still very small numbers. So lots of businesses and families, of course, in this landscape. What about the styles here? So the DOC or DOCG, that is quality wine, accounts for about 2/3 of production. And as you can see from the chart, in terms of value, the most important for volume is Chianti, but the most important for value is Chianti Classico, that accounts for annual about 112 million euros, Chianti at about 87, and Brunello at about 61. So you can see that Brunello, although in volume it is much smaller than Chianti, nearly gets there in terms of the value. And of course, you'll know that by how much you have to empty your wallet to purchase a Brunello di Montalcino. The land of success in terms of export markets this really is a well-exported region. Now, just under 70% of Chianti DOCG, you see here on the left-hand side, is exported. We typically say, I reckon, most regions in Europe have about a 65% export rate. So most of these are above that number. So nearly 70%. The most important markets for generic Chianti is Germany, followed by the US of A and the UK. Chianti Classico comes next at about 79%, as you can see there. Main markets are the US and then Germany, Canada. The US is by far important for Chianti Classico. Montalcino at about the same as Chianti at about 70%. The US and Canada are the main markets. And then Vino Nobile di Montepulciano at about 80%, with Germany, the US, and Switzerland being the most markets. The US, a common occurrence, loving their Tuscan Chiantis and associated wine styles. Okay, so some fairly high export numbers there. Next up is just to talk about the where in Italy the route to market goes. Now, there's a marked difference between the route to market for inexpensive wines, which will be sold through bars and supermarkets, and then the mid-price to premium and super premium, which tend to be sold through high-end restaurants and with specialist independents, which is kind of quite typical in Europe, of course. Marketing. Now, the marketing of Tuscan wines vary broadly across the denominations. However, the likes of Chianti, Chianti Classico, Montepulciano, San Gimignano are very much sold through their appeal of location, their terroir, the location they come from, their history. Montalcino a little bit, but more Montalcino and Bulgari on just the fact that they are premium wines. I've included here a great example, though, of one that really does market itself. Here is, in fact, a supermarket own label from the United Kingdom. It's from a supermarket chain called Sainsbury's. Other supermarket chains are available. And you, I don't know why I'm protecting myself, but you'll see here Vernaccia di San Gimignano, which is the name of the wine and the place. But you'll see that they've got that design here on the label, which I thought was really pertinent to show you. But you can see the towers, and here is the picture of the towers. So they are utilizing that quite powerful marketing to promote the traditionality and the locality of this wine style. Also, there has been a real push towards wine tourism, agro-tourism in this area, and the construction of very ambitious architectural buildings such as this one. Since the 1990s, it's actually making Tuscany, along with its, link to the Renaissance, its location, its Mediterranean climate, its beauty in terms of the cities of Pisa, Siena, Arezzo, Florence, and so on, the Maremma coast. You've got so much to go and visit in this region. It is quite wonderful. This is Cantina di Montalcino, one of the very small amount of produced co-op wines in Montalcino. But look how ambitious and beautiful this architecture is. It's quite magnificent, and this is becoming quite commonplace. The first picture of the whole presentation was another one of these, which is Petra, which is on the Maremma coast. And the region as a whole promotes its wine through really strong marketing, especially through events like the Anteprime di Toscana, which is where wine journalists and buyers from around the world can, in fact, taste a new vintage of all Tuscan wines and regions every year, something which has thankfully come back after the difficulties of COVID, of course. So that brings me to the end of the wine business section. If you'd like to follow on and learn about the climate, geology, and key grape varieties and winemaking, then you'll have to go along to winewithjimmy.com to sign up to the portal to have exclusive content to all of these added on videos. But thank you so much for stopping by. If you do have any comments or questions, please do put them in the comments section below this video. Make sure you click like and click subscribe, because it helps you and me, and the social media at the bottom of every slide as well, if you want to include us in pictures and things like that. If you do come to the United Kingdom, of course, come and see me at one of my multiple establishments, potentially for a class, maybe for a glass, probably even a bottle. Hey, thank you so much. I've been Jimmy Smith. Ciao for now. Bye.